We are back again, the Big Art Solution sports program. It's me, the Sobri Boys, Wale Fatsi. And then today, I've got Minenhle Mkhize, Ukabazela. All right, Ukabazela is from TS Galaxy, a new team in the PSL. But what I like about TS Galaxy, the owner of the team is so impressive as far as I'm concerned. There are a few things that I like about him. He was a former player, what makes very interested. Apparently, he's a lawyer by profession. Kabazelo confirmed that. And then he was a sports manager for the players, up to a point whereby he owns the team. So they have a very nice history and how they came about. So that's very impressive. So Kabazel, I started that way because I'm looking forward to one day interview Tim Fugazi because I'm very much impressed with his profile. As I said, the Big R is about educational. We are a financial company, all right, giving financial product, helping those people who are over indebted to assist them to pay their debts. One, we also educate about finance and business. Because not everybody understands that finance and business have to be taught. And for information, the school does not teach about business. The school does not teach about finance, all right? And then at the Big R, we also have what you call the membership club and the support group. Now, what is the membership club? The membership club, we have people who are members. And these people who are members, we train them about finances 4 times a year. That's one. And then at some point, we come together to network. All right? Because business is about knowing people. So networking session is very important. And start knowing that, oh, this is Kawazel. Hey, Kawazel, how are you? I'm Sobri Kawara. Here's my business card. You'll never know. One day they'll meet. So that is the purpose. And then we also have the support group. Support groups support individuals. You know, people sometimes they fail to stick to their budget. You find a person says, I have a budget, but I don't know how to manage it. So we support them as individuals and their families to be able to stick to be disciplined. So that's all what we do. And we have a number of things. We have a foundation that goes to school and educate kids about money. Because there is no school that teaches about money. And guess what, Kabazela? We have accountants in our groups. We have lawyers in our group. We have principal, we have teachers, all right? Being accountant does not assure you, does not guarantee that you know what does the rent mean. Because we are teaching about what does the rent mean. All right, so that you understand. So this is what we do. So sports is about money. So that is why we're dealing with sports. So now you understand where we are coming from. So I'm going to engage you from time to time, if you don't mind. Give information as much as you want. And some of your players would like to interview them. One in mind, Brooks, is doing well. We're happy with him. I would love to interview, just like I've mentioned your boss. So that's it in a nutshell. But before I start, I want you to tell me, who is Minenhle Mkhize? Where does he come from? Where was he born? How are you linked to TS Galaxy? And how did it come about? Feel free.
All right. Minenhle Mkhize, it's a young lad born and bred in Durban, in a place called KwaMakhutha. It's a township near Amanzimtoti that has produced a number of players who played in the elite league in South Africa. Tulasize Khuzwayo, goalkeeper, that won the MTN8 with Lamontville Golden Arrows back in 2009. Defeating Ajax Cape Town in that particular final. And here at TS Galaxy, we've got Sihle Nduli, who's been with the club since its inception back in 2015, and also Menzi Ndwandwe, who recently joined the club. So growing up, I was very passionate about sport as a whole, not only football. So after finishing my matric, I ventured into studying communication science at the University of South Africa. While I was studying at UNISA, I also started my career doing sport on radio. There was a radio station called Durban Youth Radio in Durban that also has produced a number of prominent DJs who are now working in commercial radio stations. So, and then while I was also working there, I had an opportunity to be a sport writer at the vernacular newspaper called the Solezwe. Worked there for about, I was there for about 5 years. And then because the Solezwe is under independent media. So when I was covering CAF Confed Cup, yeah, I was at Atchechville. I met Matsalane Mamabolo, who was part of the group. So I was working for Isolezo, who was at the star at that particular time. So he asked me, why don't you write for us? Because we've recognized that you tend to like get good prominent people that can also appeal into English titles. I said, obviously, I would love to do that. And then I started work for all the English publication at independent media, the Star, Pretoria News, Daily News, Cape Acres, Independent on Sunday. So from there, I think it was last year, where I got a call from Tim Sugazi, because I've worked with Pratim for a number of years. Willie was an agent, giving me a lot of stories when I was still a journalist at a particular time. So he said, "Minenhle, can you come? Because we want to beef up our media and marketing department." I said, it has always been a dream of mine to work for a football club. So this major opportunity, it was something that I couldn't let pass. So I said, I've served as a sport reporter for 10 years, covered the 2010 FIFA World Cup, covered the Africa Cup of Nations in 2013 here in South Africa. I covered the AFCON in Gabon, the Olympics in Brazil. So I've won a number of local awards while I was in Durban. So I said, I feel I'm at a point where I think I've achieved a number of things as a reporter. So I needed a new challenge. And then I said, because I'm someone who love new challenges, who love to learn new things, I said, let me just venture into this media and communications career. And so far, I think as a club, I think we've punched above our weight. If you look at TS Galaxy, this is our second season, but the club is forever out there. Whether it is something that is controversial or not, but we don't run away from obviously the members of the media. We don't run away from our supporters. We are always there to explain. So I think, yeah, it has been one of our strengths to say, okay, let us always be visible. Let us be that particular club that doesn't hide with information. So I think, yeah, as I've just alluded, that I think we've done well in terms of that. We are very media friendly at our club. You call us, request an interview, we interact with that particular individual, and then boom, you are able to get access. So we want to uh, run away from that illusion that the media and the clubs are enemies, because in order for our brand, the PSL brand, to grow, these two parties, they need to work well together so that we can up our standard in terms of branding and all that. So yeah, as I've said, I've served before as a reporter and then transitioned into media and communication. So yeah, basically that's who's Minenhle is, someone who's very passionate about sport.
Minenhle, you know, at some point, I was confusing you with Minenhle Mkhize. They say Minenhle, I thought it's that one. I wonder, is he still around, Minenhle Mkhize?
It's Mnina Wanhlobo. Yes, he's still around. He's he's the head of sport for or online titles at Avusa Media, Times Live.
No, that's
He's an
fine.
editor.
That's fine. I want to say, you strike me the first time I contacted you. They're just coming out very friendly, welcoming, phone you at any time. You'd pick up my call. If I miss your call, you'd return my call. I'm saying to you, Minenhle, that's a skill. A lot of people are not aware of that. You're talking about the brand. If you really want to be accessible, a brand must be accessible. If you really want to be a brand, you must be accessible. And accessibility can be explained in many ways. You can pick up our phones, but you're not friendly. Do you think we'll come back again? I don't think so.
Yes.
And that's a quality that I'm encouraging you to keep it that way. You never ask me so many questions. Who are you? What is this? What? You know, and you know those kind of people.
Yes.
How many following? You know, that kind of a thing. You know, not a friendly and welcoming reception. I say, keep up the good work. That's what I want to say to you. I'm very much impressed. Yeah.
No. I'm very humbled by that. To me, it says a lot. Like you've just alluded, we'll just continue to be accessible as a club because we want to grow this brand. I feel that PSL needs a brand like TS Galaxy because if you see at our club, we've got a number of programs. When you talk about youth empowerment, you're talking
I'll come back
about
to that one. Before you go there,
Yeah.
I'll come back to that one.
Yeah.
I've noticed something.
All right.
I'll come back to
All
that
right.
one. And the other thing that you mentioned, which I liked most, was when you said you were writing in a vernacular. You were writing for Iswelezwe. I'll tell you one thing. That's one thing that we as South Africans have never realized, that our indigenous languages are very important. They link partly with our culture and tradition. One of the key proponents of that, I don't know whether you know this gentleman, Kit Sitole. He's an actor. But Kit is a very key proponent of, let's go back to the indigenous languages. People are missing a point. You can imagine if you were doing mathematics in Zulu, or you were doing a mathematics in Isindebele. Do you understand? So for me, that's very key. You have mentioned something very key. Link that. When you played your final, I saw you guys having invited Umama Mahlangu.
Yes.
For me, that's very powerful. All right. Now, while you are still there, is Mr. Tim Sugazi and Debele. I want to start there.
All right. Mr. Tim Sugazi obviously was born and bred in Kwacha 14 in Mpumalanga. The place is mainly dominated by the Ndebele people. So yes, his father is Ndebele. So that's why even if you look at our jersey, we've got umbalo, the colors of Amandebele. There's that stripe on our jersey. Even each and every yeah, at the start of the season, we always go to Mthambothini, where we unveil our new players. Ebukhosini, baKwaNdebele. So we always do that. Even last season, we went there just to obviously ask for their blessings. Even this season, we also did the same. Like you've just mentioned now, that when we made history defying the odds back in 2019, defeating the mighty Kaizer Chiefs at the iconic Moses Mabhida Stadium. Mam Esther Mahlangu was also there at the stadium. So this club prides itself about where it comes from, the background. So we will never forget where we come from. Hence, we every season at the start of the season we always go there, Mthambothini, to Emakhosini, just to unveil our new players, to unveil obviously the new team, new technical team if we've got some new additions. So Mr. Sugas is someone that prides himself about where he comes from. So even our jersey, like I've said, we've got that umbalo. Even if you look at the make of our jersey, there's that blanket of Ndebele people. So it's a mixture of that.
Okay. I'll tell you why I'm saying this. I think it's this week or last week, I was talking to my team here and say, Black people, they have problems. Black people have problems generally. It can be Africa, it can be in Europe, it can be in Asia, it can be in America. Don't be fooled. Those Black Americans have problems, serious problem than us. I said the problem is we have lost touch with our spirituality, where we come from. And the worst part of it, we even undermine our spirituality. There is a saying that, our ancestors, no, why are you doing that? We make a joke out of it. You go to other nations, be Chinese, Japanese, Indians, Buddha, white people, they still connect with their spirituality.
And they are very principled. Yeah.
We are lost. We are lost. Instead, we even go west. As I say, we make a laughing stock to our own ancestors. When I was still at school, they were saying, Abo Baba Betu, Bebamtandas, Umvelinange. I don't know who came up with the concept that there was no God in our lives. That's a story for another day. I'm just saying, keep it up the way you are doing. All right. And then it's very good. Sometimes I see the ANC when they have the big rally, they will call the Zangomas, people from different backgrounds. They say, hey, what are they doing? You need to connect with the spirituality. Keep up the good work. Pass my message to your team. Now, I want to go back to what you said. What I saw, I think it's your TV channel. I saw that you guys, Mr. Sugazi is involved with the team. The wife is involved with the team. This really striking me, that you guys are making your own jerseys. You guys are making your own tracksuits. What a brilliant move. What a brilliant move. Just tell us about that.
Yes. Sizzling Sport, the brand, the kids sponsor for TS Galaxy. It is a brand that is owned by Dudu Sugazi, who is the marketing director of TS Galaxy and also the wife of the president of TS Galaxy, Mr. Tim Sugazi. So we believe that we need to believe in our own local brands. So hence the team decided to take that path of saying, let us produce our own merchandise instead of just going out there and then promoting these international brands, because by creating Sizzling Sports, the number of people that works there are people that comes from disadvantaged backgrounds. So in a way, it has created job opportunities for people that obviously does the production in terms of making sure that the team is well kitted. So as you've just said, it was just a brilliant move. And the team started using Sudling Sport. Well, it was campaigning in the APC Motsepe League back in 2015, even when we bought the status of Cape Town All Stars in the National First Division, which is now known as Glad Africa Championship. We were using Sizzling Sport. When we won the Nedbank Cup, we were using the very same brand. Even now, we are using the very same brand, and it is working wonders for the club. If you look at our sales, I think they are just popping up every month, every week, every year. So the company is doing well. People, they are forever phoning, inquiring, where can we get TS Galaxy jerseys? Where can we get TS Galaxy tracksuit? So the brand is doing very, very well. Even now, I'm just wearing the very same brand I was at training, because we've got a uniform here at TS Galaxy where every staff is required to obviously wear that particular uniform. We use different colors from Monday until the other Monday. So yeah, the brand is doing very, very well. It's doing wonders in the market.
In fact, it's unique. No one is doing it, if I'm not mistaken. No one. Instead, we fetch the other brands, your Adidas, your Nike. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good. They say local is lekker. All right. If you want to improve the unemployment, let's buy home. If you can buy home, then the unemployment issue will be the thing of the past. If you talk about Africa, Africa is the richest continent in the world. We have everything. Things are being taken here, go overseas. They come as product being more expensive than when they were taken from here. So why can't we start from scratch, do it up to the end, and the product is here, and then export? That way we'll grow as a country. Keep up the good work. Now, how did this TS Galaxy was formed? If you can just elaborate. Well, that would be the question for Mr. Tim, but you can tell us how was this team formed?
Yeah, as you know that Tim Sugazi was a player manager before he transitioned from being a player manager to a football club owner. So Willie was still a manager. He had TS Galaxy campaigning in the APC Motsepe League because it was a part and parcel of the program where he wanted to make sure that he's stable, which was QT Sports at that time, has a number of upcoming players beside the fact that he had the likes of Katlego Mashego, Lehlahonolo Majoro, the likes of Steve Kompela, Mohsin Etugral. So yes, he had clients that were competing at the highest level, but he wanted to make sure that there is a succession plan, obviously, when it's time for those that were playing in the elite league to retire. So there is that particular succession plan. But the team was doing well, always challenging for owners, the difficulties that are there in the APC Motsepe League. So it was formed obviously in 2015, straight when it was formed. It's campaigned in the APC Motsepe League, and then after some few seasons, 2017, Pratim decided that no, because of the difficulties and the amateurish behavior that is always being displayed at the Motsepe League, the best thing was to buy the NFT status. And then obviously he bought Cape Town All Stars. In our first season in NFT, we went on to create history by winning the Nedbank Cup triumph. And then we went to compete in the CAF Confederations Cup, almost made the group stages. Unfortunately, we succumbed to a defeat to the mighty Enyimba of Nigeria. And then team obviously sat down with the other management staff at the club, and then we felt that this club belongs in the top tier of South African football. This club won the Nedbank Cup, competing in the NFD. It is something that has never been done in African football. And then after winning the Nedbank Cup, going in the Confed Cup, beating teams left, right, and center, and almost making the group stages. No. This brand doesn't deserve to be in the NFD. And the fact that when Cape Town City bought Mpumalanga Black Aces back in 2016, the people of Mpumalanga have been starved of the PSL football. So this was a perfect opportunity. So Mr. Sukazi just embarked on the journey. Remember, he tried to buy Bloemfontein Celtic. That transition was never materialized. And then an opportunity to buy Highlands Park came. And then he took it with both hands. And here we are now, Chase Galaxy campaigning its second season in the professional ranks in South African football. So team is has a massive or big visions about this particular club, because you look at the difference that it has made. When last did you see a 19-year-old playing for Bafana Bafana? We had, on our first season, we had a centre back from the dusty streets of Kwandebele, Macbeth Kila Mahlango, playing 22 games as a centre back as a 19-year-old. And after the season, he was nominated for Young Defender of the Season. And then thereafter, he was called into the under-23 setup. He went to Tokyo Olympic Games. So those stories that you want a new club that is entering the league to make a difference, because you don't want a team that will just add numbers, but you want a team that will make an impact in our league. So I think it's been a blessing in disguise to have TS Galaxy, because it has afforded young players an opportunity to showcase their talent. Because if you look at the number of our squad, it was boys that were playing in the NFD, and then now they've got opportunities to showcase their talent in the top tier of South African football.
You know what? What I like about Tim, as much as he's a visionary, he's brave enough. You know, I was interested when he said, one day I want to run the PSL. You know, only a brave man can say that. You must have a vision. You mustn't say, no, that one is meant for a few group of people. You know, be prepared to take the bull by its horns. I'm very much impressed. That is why I'm saying he's got a very colorful character. I like him as a person. And then,
yes.
Yeah, he's a very likable character. And then tell me, does he still manage players? If he does, which players is he managing currently?
He's no longer managing players, because remember, with the FIFA rules, they don't allow you to manage players and have a football club. So he relinquished QT Sports. It is now under Pasha Michels, who's now running the QT Sports. So Tim is no longer a player manager. He's solely focused on running TS Galaxy, and also his company is Low Film, Tim Sukazi Incorporated. So he's no longer managing players. Pasha Michels is the one that is in charge of QT Sports, because obviously the FIFA rules doesn't allow, and it was going to create conflict
of interest. It's a conflict of interest, which is fair enough. Now, you know, to cut the matters short, this week you guys are playing. Who are you playing? Just give me your 3 next game. Who are you playing? Let's talk about those.
Our next assignment is against Swallows. It is not going to be an elementary encounter. They've endured some turbulent times. They've not won in the past 11 games. They've only scored 2 goals in the league this season. So in as much as we have also endured some barren run of results, But we are very adamant that we'll be able to turn things around. So we are playing Swallows. We are hoping to keep our unbeaten run intact against Swallows, because remember last season we collected 4 points against them. We are the one that ended their unbeaten run in the league. They were unbeaten in 18 games, and then they came at the iconic Mbombela Stadium, and then we were able to swipe them away. So we are hoping to replicate the same performance that we displayed last season when we played them at Mbombela. I think things are starting to shape up under the tutelage of Coach Said Ramovic, who recently took over the coaching reins from Owen Dagama. The team is starting to score goals. Our last game at home, we won against Moroka 2-1, and then we went to Supersport, played very well, dominated the game, created 12 chances, dominated possession, had 3 shots on target. Unfortunately, we considered a penalty, and then thereafter, a lack of concentration, and then Mbole scored that scotch, and then Supersport ended up winning the game. So, but we are very adamant that we'll turn things around. We still have got 20 games to play. That is 60 points. We've already amassed 5. So if we can get half of that 60, and then that's 35. So we can even challenge for top 8, which is our main target this season. But obviously, the main priority now is to make sure that we got off the foot of the table by collecting as many points as possible in our next few games, which is against Swallows this coming weekend. And then we are at home against Cape Town City. And then December, we will be facing our former coach in Dan Malisela, who recently joined Maromo Gallants. So yes, these are our next 3 matches, and we are very hopeful that we'll be able to collect points, because we need to collect points. We have not started well. I think we've been considering a number of goals. We've not been resolute at the back. We've considered 16 goals. I think that's the biggest margin considered by any football club currently in this season. So we need to keep those clean sheets. They've eluded us this season. We've only kept 1 clean sheet, which was against Kaizer Chiefs. So we need to keep more, because if you keep a clean sheet, that means you've already have a point. So it's all about making sure that you convert the chances that you create, and then by doing so, you have an opportunity to win games, which is something that we need. But the mood is okay. The mood is okay. The players are very optimistic, and I have no doubt that the sun will soon shine for TS Galaxy.
You know what? I hear that theory from the great Jomo Sono to say, if you want to win the game, win the game by defending. And not only Jomo Sono, the Germans, I think they specialize on that. You defend, and then you win the game. I could not understand when this was being said, that if you close and you keep the clean sheet, definitely you are guaranteed of 1 point. You win the league. But I thought you have to score more rather than, and then so this is what you are saying. You are playing Panyaza, my homeboy, here in Tembisa. We come a long way, myself and Panyaza. Good luck, guys. And then we are looking forward to see more from TS Galaxy. And then you guys are making us proud. As I said, I'm very much impressed by the fact that you are bringing some innovative ideas. Not only that, I like the fact that you still consider the spirituality, because I think that's where most of us have lost it. And then, who's discovering players at TS Galaxy?
I think we are very privileged to have our chairman who previously worked as a player manager, because he was still a player manager. He made a number of networks. I remember on your opening remarks, you made mention of the importance of networking. So I think that has came in handy in terms of obviously our scouting, because Pratim and also Zipo Hlobi, who's our football manager, they are very, very handful in terms of making sure that we acquire top talent. But the strategy of TS Galaxy, we don't want to be that type of a club that buys a number of players. We want to produce our own. Want to produce our own talent, because I think we no longer see more young talent like coming frequently. So that's what TS Galaxy wants to do. We are very grateful that we had Makwet Matlangu going on to play the Olympics at the age of 19. We are very grateful that Ethan Brooks at the age of 20 is playing for Bafana Bafana. We are grateful that Masalake Pohlong at the age of 23 won the Kosafa Cup with Bafana Bafana. So we want to see more. Against Sundowns, we had a 20-year-old making his debut, Sbongiseni Shelembe. So even Coach Ashley Makanya is doing very well with the TDC team. This week we had two boys that are playing for TDC, training with the first team, Letoke and Muzi Mahlangu. So we want to produce more of the homegrown talent rather than going out and scout. But if there is good quality players out there, we'll always, because we consider ourselves as an international brand. Hence, we've signed Iko Mikatan and Veselaj Kulak from Bosnia Herzegovina. We've got Carlos Filipeto from Uruguay. So we'll always, if there is international good talent, we'll not shy away from bringing it to our club as long as it will add value.
You want to be that like the old Barcelona, not the current Barcelona that is buying now. The old Barcelona come up with talent, just like in Amsterdam. So I don't know what, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Minenhle, it was nice having a discussion with you. And then let's keep in touch. Let's keep in touch. Give us more information. I'll really appreciate. And then, please just organize that I talk to your boss. Just organize that I talk to the young man, Brooks. He has done well. He needs to be encouraged. So I really appreciate it. And keep up the good work. Like I said, your personality will make you win. All right.
No. Thank you very much for such kind words. Next week I will facilitate that interview with Ethan Brooks, and then I will check with Pratim tomorrow just to look at his diary for next week, and then when we can be able to do it. But definitely one of the two you will get next week, and then maybe the following week you can also get the chairman. But we'll make it a point that he come into this platform, and I'm sure he will really enjoy his time because of the wisdom that you bring into your interviews.
Yeah. Minenhle, I'm grateful, my brother. I normally say to people, what brings money is an asset. Now people said, what is an asset? Asset is anything that brings money to your pocket. But the first asset is here. And the second asset is your character. All right. Now, people might want to know, what do you mean by that? Like I said, your personality can attract a lot of people to interact with you. And you don't know businesses people. Only people can take you to the next level. Keep up that character, I'm telling you. It's a strong point, all right? Don't be like these people who are snobs. They ask so many questions like, hey, how do I reach this guy? Before I reach him, I must cross the rivers and the mountains. And then you become this guy. I'll never go to that guy. I'm getting so many questions. Kamazela, keep up the good work, and I wish you guys good luck.
No,
thank you.
Cool.
Much appreciated.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, thank you. I really enjoyed it. Thanks.
Thank you.